Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, as a guy who basically lives and breathes football, let me set a scene for you that I know is way too relatable. Picture this, you're kicked back on the couch, totally dialed into a live match on your TV. The tension is high. Suddenly, your phone buzzes on the coffee table. You glance down, see a goal notification, and then you look back up at the screen. And the player hasn't even taken the shot yet. Your phone literally knew the ball was going to hit the back of the net before your television did.
Man, it's a bizarre modern phenomenon, right? Like, how is this even physically possible? How can apps like SofaScore, FlashScore, or FootMob instantly know not just who scored, but who gave the assist, or exactly how many miles a specific player has run throughout the match? We're talking about a massive, completely instantaneous flow of highly specific information here. So, who is actually collecting all this data, and how on earth is it beating a live broadcast right to your pocket?
Well, the secret really lies in the sheer weight of the data we're dealing with. When we watch a television broadcast, we're looking at something incredibly heavy. High-definition video and audio feeds require huge production trucks, satellite transmissions, and local buffering just to reach your living room screen smoothly. On the flip side, that app notification, it's just a tiny, ultra-lightweight packet of text data. It strips away all the visual weight and cuts straight to the core facts of the event, which lets it travel across the globe in a fraction of a second.
But here's the kicker, no pun intended, a simple text notification just isn't enough anymore. Think about how much our demands as fans have totally skyrocketed. Back in the day, old football websites or teletext gave us the absolute bare basics. Who's playing, what's the score, who scored. That's it. But with smartphones, our expectations completely transformed. Today, we don't just want the score, we expect a real-time autopsy of the game. We want live lineups, yellow cards, dynamic heat maps, expected goals, and real-time player ratings. The modern app basically has to know literally everything happening on the pitch.
Which really begs the question, how did these apps actually get their hands on all this highly specific data? Because let's be real, they definitely do not have 20 guys sitting in every single stadium in the world furiously typing away on laptops. Nope. Instead, there's a massive hidden industry working entirely behind the scenes. LiveScore apps purchase their information from highly specialized sports data companies. We're talking about absolute data giants like Opta, which is part of StatsPerform, alongside other massive players like Sportradar, Genius Sports, and StatsBomb. The app and the data gatherer are actually completely different entities.
To really understand how this works, let's break down a hypothetical game between, say, Ajax and PSV. As the game unfolds, human data analysts are rapidly logging events using some seriously specialized software. They're hitting keys to register every single sequence in real time. Player A passes to player B. Next, a shot is taken, it gets blocked, deflects for a corner kick. The corner comes in, and bang, goal. Every single one of those moments is instantly converted into structured data points and fired right off into the system.
But you know, there's a massive physical limit here. A human analyst is incredibly fast, for sure, but if they tried to manually track the exact running speed and distance of 22 guys sprinting around at once, their brain would just short-circuit. To gather that level of granular, continuous data, the industry desperately needed a technological leap.
And that brings us to optical camera tracking. Modern stadiums are rigged with advanced, highly specialized cameras that continuously track both the players and the ball. Literally every fraction of a second, this system calculates a player's precise physical location, mapping them to an exact X and Y coordinate on the pitch, and instantly computes their real-time speed. So it knows that player 7 is exactly 64 meters down the pitch, 31 meters wide, and sprinting at a top speed of 24 kilometers per hour. It essentially turns a chaotic physical match into this immense, living digital database of movement.
Now, translating all this physical chaos into clean data presents a massive technological hurdle. When you or I watch a game, we instantly recognize a player pulling off a slick dribble past a defender. But a computer doesn't see a football match. It literally just sees raw pixels and moving dots. To bridge that gap, tech companies use incredible computer vision and machine learning algorithms. The system actually has to be trained to recognize that when these specific dots move in this specific pattern, it constitutes a complex human action, like an interception, a dribble, or a high-intensity sprint.
All this raw tracking data is exactly what allows for incredibly advanced metrics. Take expected goals, or XG, for example. It's everywhere now, right? XG is a statistical model that evaluates a shot. If a striker has a tap-in from 5 meters out, dead center, obviously that's a high-quality chance. But if a winger takes a wild, hopeful shot from 30 meters out at a really tight angle, the probability drops massively.
The XG model takes the distance, the angle, the type of attack, cross-references it with years of historical data, and calculates the exact mathematical probability of that specific shot scoring. So when you see an XG of 0.42 pop up on your screen, it's turning physical chaos into a clean mathematical probability. It means historically a shot taken under those exact conditions has roughly a 42% chance of going in. It does not mean the player scored a fraction of a goal. It's a direct reflection of historical data combined with exact, real-time spatial positioning.
It's brilliant.
All right, let's bring this all the way back to that initial mystery on the couch. How does the goal get to your phone so incredibly fast? Well, let's start the clock. The time is exactly 21:04 and 13 seconds. This is the precise physical moment the ball completely crosses the goal line in the stadium. The race against your television broadcast has officially begun. Watch how insanely fast this moves through the digital pipeline. Step 1. The ball crosses the line, and the analyst or tracking system immediately registers the event. Step 2. The sports data provider packages this up and shoots it through their API. Step 3. Your football app server receives the data and instantly categorizes it as a goal. Step 4. The server triggers a push service. And Step 5. The server actively pushes the alert and your phone buzzes. Your phone doesn't waste time constantly asking the server, "Hey, did someone score?" The server forces the notification down to your device the exact millisecond it's verified.
And boom, here's why your phone wins the race every single time. While that tiny text package was zipping through servers in milliseconds, the television broadcast was still working incredibly hard just to catch up. The live video from the stadium cameras has to be produced in a massive broadcast truck, encoded into a signal, beamed up to a satellite, or pushed through heavy fiber optics, sent to your local television provider, decoded, buffered to ensure smooth playback, and finally displayed on your screen. The app is faster simply because tiny packets of text effortlessly bypass the massive logistical chain of live video broadcasting. But listen, the industry isn't just stopping there. The goal is no longer just being a few seconds faster than your TV. The entire landscape of football data is shifting right now from simply reporting what just happened to automatically analyzing why it happened. These live score apps are evolving fast. They aren't just notification tools anymore. They are actively transforming into digital, pocket-sized tactical analysts.
Just imagine a near future where you open your favorite football app at halftime. Your team is down 1-0, and frankly, they look terrible. Instead of just staring at the possession stats trying to figure it out, you can literally ask the app, "Why is my club playing poorly today?" And instead of a generic list of scores and shots, you actually get a highly detailed tactical response tailored to the specific flow of the game you're watching.
To actually pull that off, a future AI engine is going to have to synthesize thousands of data points instantly. It would look at player tracking data, historical shot patterns, and spatial gaps. It could generate an answer like, "The opponent is pressing your team's center backs much higher up the pitch today, completely cutting off the build-up play to the midfield." You're no longer just looking at a scoreboard. You literally have an AI tactician sitting on the couch next to you, breaking down the manager's headache in real time. And honestly, this leads us to the ultimate endgame for football data. With so much precise X and Y positional data for all 22 guys and the ball, you can eventually generate a perfect, complete 3D digital replica of the physical match. This shifts football data from mere statistics into the realm of full-blown simulation. Fans could jump into a 3D replay of a conceded goal and run actual what-if scenarios. You could literally ask what would have happened if our center back was standing just 2 meters to the left, and the simulation could mathematically project whether that goal would have been prevented. How crazy is that? Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought. As this technology continues to accelerate, taking in millions of data points every single second, will these football apps soon become better, more insightful, and more accurate than human pundits sitting in the TV studio? The gap between the pitch, the data, and your pocket is shrinking every single day. I really want to thank you for joining me today and diving into this explainer. Keep an eye on your phone next time you watch a match. And just think about the massive, invisible world operating right beneath your screen.